Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Do Bonsai.
I'm Ryan from Horton Bonsai.
And we finally made it into the grow area to make these videos that we plan to do this weekend. It's now Saturday evening. We've had a fantastic day with Peter. We're going to work on the Lawson Cypress first. We've got quite a few things obviously to do in here. Ryan is wanting to, if we can, work on the juniper that I won from the club show, the club raffle when Corin came, and he first styled that juniper, and I'm going to let Ryan have his hands on that.
Not tonight though, tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow morning. But yeah,
we're drinking.
we're going to have a couple of beers. We're going to have some good times. And we're going to bend that Lawson Cypress into, well,
try and make something.
It will no longer be recognisable. The raffia has been soaking down there. I think you're supposed to soak it for an hour or so, but it's had 12 hours. And that's what we're going to be working on first.
And what we'll do is, we'll just do the one video. I'll get a copy of Scott and I'll upload that to my channel as well. And there's one more problem. He's skimped on wiring it in the pot, so we're going to have to be careful. Isn't that right, mate?
Once again, I'm being told off for not wiring in my trees. Lesson to everybody out there, wire in your trees. I know a lot of people don't do it. I haven't been doing it, you know. I've been told off more than once now. The chairman of the club, hi Graham, if you're watching this, I might start wiring them in.
He's too tight. He needs to start spending some wire on wiring them in.
I might be tight. I might just.
He's not tight.
might just can't be bothered. But
just scrap that out. He's not tight.
That's a whole nother story.
He's looked after me.
Earlier on we put up this shelving unit that I picked up for a paltry sum of £15. It's a lovely little...
Who do you want to message?
No one. It's a lovely little setup. It's got some drawers in so we can hide some tools and some little bits. So we've got our screens in there. There's some bits of all sorts. What's in there? Oh, some name tags and pens and things.
And he's got his Mickey Mouse bits in there.
Our fairy garden stuff. Who knows? We might do a fairy garden.
He's bought some spare burrs so he can show his trees.
Yeah, I can show my biggest trees on them.
His twigs and puts.
And we've also inherited a new job here. We won't name names, but the desert rose planting went for a Burton earlier on, but it does me a little bit of a favour because I happen to have come across this larger adenium. So the smaller adeniums that are in there are going to be replanted. So thank you, Peter. I was wondering how I could accompany this larger desert rose adenium into there, but we might end up using one of the bigger pots and creating a nicer planting, and that is a nice big adenium. I've still got envy of the Blue Jay Bonsai adeniums and the ones that Nigel got given, but not so much now that I've got this. You can see from my hand, you know, the size of that. But it's already flowered, so I don't know whether I'll get any flowers out of it anymore. But it's flowered and died back. Found it in a garden centre, stuck in a corner. There was two, and this one had the best nabari down the bottom there. So that's a little something to get on with. We've accumulated the aces from the garden that I showed you on the walk around. They've been slightly replanted into some smaller pots, and we'll just see how they get off. And we've tried to make the vert planters nice and safe at the back here while we were working away. Anyway, This is a joint video.
Yes.
As you can see by the face on this man here saying, "Excuse me,
I wasn't saying excuse me.
Can I be involved? Please don't forget about me."
I just like it when you waffle on.
I'm like a waffle iron. I've got more waffle than a waffle iron, me, you know.
Oh, and another thing, he's converted us to jades.
Oh yes.
Yes, I.
Let's get a shot of you with your little jade forest. It's not wired in.
It's not wired in, though.
So be careful with it.
So he's converted us to jades. I've never had one. So cheers, buddy. I haven't got a ding dang do what to do with it, but I'll figure something out.
I've already instructed. Cut them down to about that level. This will all grow back. And then all this upper growth, he'll have lots and lots and lots of jades when he plants them on, cutting them into smaller pieces all the way down, little trees in little pots. Oh.
You know I like little trees and little pots, you've seen mine, so cheers mate, I'll make something of that.
Yeah, but he is making sure he's hiding it here in the middle towards the back of the grow area. And I think he's planning to forget it, but I'll make sure he doesn't.
So what, don't forget it. That's why it's over there.
Right, it's camouflaged into the back so you won't forget it. Yeah, I like that. I like that excuse. Look at all these cans of beers. Who's been in my area? I don't drink.
Well, that's yours. Well, you can tell.
Oh, you can tell that's mine. It's not open.
You can tell that's mine. There's two.
Like Bubba J would say, what's your favourite beer? An open one.
Anyone with a percentage. The only thing is, they've knocked the percentage down on this to 3.7 now instead of 4.1 or 4.
Is this a
yes
public service address to Foster's?
The money's gone up, the alcohol percentage has gone down. Terrible, Foster's.
Is it Australian Foster's?
They don't drink it in Australia. Says it tastes like.
Does that mean it's not any good?
Well, that's what they say in Australia. That's what my brother said when he moved.
Anyway, should we carry on with some bonsai work? This is meant to be bonsai channels we've got here.
It's beer and bonsai, but you're waffling.
What does the T stand for?
Where?
Well, we can't say it. BTB. Beer, bonsai. We'll leave the rest of it. We'll leave that to your imagination. You can fill in the blanks. Anyway.
That's what the T stands for.
I'm glad I can edit that.
It's just leave it on, man. You're not saying nothing. So, what we're going to do first here is we're going to add some raffia on. Then, you got some camo tape, didn't you see it?
Yes, we got some camo tape.
So apparently Scott's been told this camo tape works well, just like the amalgamating tape. So what we'll do is we'll give this a go. If it doesn't work, I brought some amalgamating tape so we can put that round the raffia after the raffia is on. We've got some 6mm wire, which I want to put 2 curls up.
Wire at Let's Do Bonsai.
I might leave you some. And we're going to put 2 curls up so we can start and get a nice bend on here. And I was going to bring that round into here. Maybe use that as an apex branch and a branch into here just to try and fill this space. So what we'll do is we'll get the raffia on first, we'll set the cameras up and we'll just record it and Scott can explain a bit more while we're going. So I misunderstood. Apparently you can use this camo tape instead of raffia. So that's what we've heard on the grapevine. So you can just wrap it around instead of raffia. Plus it's a nice camo tape so it'll blend into the tray. So what we'll do is we'll give this a go. If we don't feel like it's working, it'll come back off, get the raffia on, then the amalgamating tape. But first off, Scott's going to clean this cut up here, take this big knuckle off here, then we can see we can get a bigger bend in. So I'll leave Scott to clean that, then we'll come back and we'll try and get a bend in. Looks like it's a graft, but I can't see it being a graft. Must be where the junction was. So we'll get Scott to clean this and we'll have a bit play with it.
Yep, like you say, this did have a branch coming off it and it did sort of swell and in a bit. And it went a little bit baggy, you know, the skin sort of grouped and sagged. There's nothing in that to say that it was a graft. You can see just the skin has just sort of all squashed and compressed where it's got, I think maybe where it's kind of leant that way, and then these ripples have just created by the movement of the trunk. But there's nothing there to suggest that it was.
But with us having that line there, we're going to have to be careful when we bend it, like, I think.
Yeah. But we'll tidy this other knuckle joint off. I don't think we need to tidy any of that off.
We're not going to be bending
going forward. We
might
might
bend and out.
So let's get the knob cutters.
Excuse me.
The knob cutters, not your cutters. The knob cutters, and we'll just eat away. Eat away at this point, and it will just reduce this lump. It was taken back in a previous video. I'll put a link to the previous video of this, where we set it on its way to potentially becoming a bonsai. Our dear friend Rob, Mr. Atkinson, when I first met Rob, as I've told you, his very, very first words to me, which didn't upset me at all, honest, but his very, very first words to me, as I was sat with this tree for the demo, well, not the demo, the weekend that he came to see us and the club, we were to bring a tree in, and I brought this in thinking Rob will be able to educate me and show what this can be. And he came over whilst I was sat there and announced to me that will never be a bonsai, pointing at it, and walked away. So that was my introduction to Rob Atkinson. And we've been friends ever since. So
Rob says it's a Shilepite.
It probably is. Do we think that's enough off of there? Should we go a little bit deeper, or
I'll clean that corner off there.
Clean that up a little bit more?
It's some size knuckle leg, isn't it?
It is quite big. I mean, it's not going to affect the growth of the tree.
It'll callus over, man.
It will callus, like you say, it'll callus over.
Plus with junipers, you like a bit shory anyway, so you can add a shory in there later on once it sets.
I mean, it is just a big...
It's like a big whirl, isn't it?
Yeah, it is exactly what the word that I was looking for, and it was escaping me. It is just a great big whirl, and the more we take off, it will roll round and callus over. I think they're quite slow to do that, aren't they? So
junipers are slow trees anyways.
So it's going to take a while. I am going to get into this.
But if this works, you could have a nice shory in there at one point.
Yeah. Quite a bit more into here, because it will roll over if we don't shari it fully. Get into there and give it something to roll over as it heals, because all of this
like it's dead anyway. A tree's dead inside, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say all this tissue underneath. That's what I was starting to say and then stopped.
A tree's only live on the outside. All the wood inside's dead. Everyone knows that, like doing that in bonsai.
And then with us already having attacked this area, any flow up there was already disconnected. So it's not like we've broken any flow of the cambium layer to feed the tree. It's just how much we decide to take away for it to heal over. We can pretty much just keep going at it as much as we want. It'll give us a better taper the more we take away, and as it rolls back in, it should fill in that space. But obviously the deeper we get into the inner layers, the better it will fill that space and roll these live edges in. We could keep going all day at this.
I think we should stop in a minute.
There'll be nothing left. I think probably that's going to be about it. So I'm going to put some cut paste on that.
Cut paste, alright.
Just to seal it up. It didn't get the cut paste before, so we'll spoil it with a bit of cut paste. Just to give it that little bit of extra. So it doesn't have to worry about losing its flow out of the cuts that we've created. It can concentrate on.
Plus the cut paste to stop diseases and everything getting into the tray.
It's protecting everything.
It's a band-aid, isn't it?
Yeah. And even though we're going to have that tape over it, this is what it's designed for. Cut paste to go over these damaged areas of the trees.
We were going to try this video earlier on, but it's absolutely lashing down, and it was like someone playing the drums, wasn't it? So
yeah, on the roof.
We didn't even attempt it. That was first thing this morning.
Yeah, and then like we said, we were kidnapped by our good friend Peter.
Good kidnap though.
It was a pleasurable kidnapping, if ever there was one.
We went to the succulent garden, didn't we?
The Alpine Garden at Carver. Can put a link into that. It's basically one of the best places in the UK for alpine plants, but unfortunately they're beginning to wind down for retirement, and they won't be there for many years to come. But
sadly, like, because they've got some nice succulents.
There's some lovely stuff in there.
Accent plants, which we'll give you a look in tomorrow's video, what we've got.
Right.
So, this tape,
What have we done here?
if this backfires, like I say, we've got the raffia. It's been soaking for a few hours. All I'm doing is trying to get this as tight as I can. I don't know if I like it, mate.
Well, it's an idea.
If it works, it's a good idea. Because like I say, you're not paying for raffia, you're not paying for the amalgamating tape. It's just one shot, one go. I'll not be able to find this tray when it's done. It's got the camo on.
Yeah, I've noticed the trunk slowly disappearing.
I'll not be able to
I
find
thought
it.
you was painting that invisibility tape and paint that you can get on it. It was just...
I hope this does well, like, because
It was like the top of the tree was floating in midair there.
you'll have to bear with us, mate, because we've lost the plot.
If ever there was a plot to be had.
I think it could work. I want to take it all the way at the top because I want to try and get that top bent all the way around. It's hard work when you've got to try and stop the tree from moving in the pot, right? Sorry, Scott. Go on, Graham, go and tell. Pair of scissors, mate. We're unprepared.
I've actually moved them to here. They're the Greenwood Bonsai scissors. good for cutting everything. So that kind of latches onto itself, and because it's not sticky, is it?
It's not, no, it's like a bandage type of thing.
It just sort of holds onto itself and
It's like a sticky bandage, so it's pretty
but
stretchy and
you touch it,
pliable.
it's not.
No, it's
if
not.
you rub it, there's an element of stickiness, but it's not
Just
sticky to the touch, is it? So that was some wire, I suppose.
So what we'll do now is we'll get some wire cutters and that out. Then we'll get some nice thick wire on this. So we've got some 6mm wire.
Wire, man.
Put that in the bloopers. So we've got some 6mm wire.
6mm wire.
This is what wire looks like, Scott.
That's not wire. That was almost a Croc Dundee moment, that, wasn't it?
So I've got enough to go into the pot, and a bit longer than what I want. Brand new, these wire cutters.
First use.
I'm going to take 2 lengths of that. Just about.
Have you used these things before or what? You're alright.
They're brand new, they get shiny, they keep
Is
slipping.
it your first day on the job?
It is, I've come down here so you show us what to do.
If I'm showing you what to do, we are in trouble.
So we'll go straight in the pot. Watch the wire underneath.
Yeah, don't mess with me wire that's holding the tree in, will you?
And we'll just do a nice little 45 if we can. Steady on the tray as we go. I'm going to take that over there. I'm cutting it off and wasting it. Because that's a bit of a thick branch, isn't it? I'll sort that out there. So when I put this next wire in, I'm not going to come over the top because I want to hit that branch. So what I want to try and do is come underneath it. That way. The reason we're putting 2 on because we're going to try and put a nice big bend in it. So that's why we come underneath, so we didn't hit that branch there, because we're going to need some wire on that. I want to take that way. I'll finish them off with the gym pliers in a bit. So that's what we're looking for. We've left that free by coming underneath. I've took one that way because it's a thick branch, and one this way, which I can get the gym pliers on to bend that later on. So mate, time for a bend, or do you want to finish wiring it all? Or do you want to see if the bend works first?
Should we see if the bend works? You can be the bender.
Excuse me?
You can be the bender.
I need them pulling around with gym pliers. Sorry, Petey. Brand new in the pot now.
No, I like to put things away.
Look at me when you're lying.
I like to put things away, honest. No, honest.
Look
No.
in there. They've never pulled a big part off in their life.
It's my new set, honest.
He's got all these brand new tools.
Been brand new for 5 years.
Until I come down. This is a little bit thick for here, but
I've had to rename the channel. Let's Do No Bonsai.
Budget and Scarpa Bonsai.
Oh, now then.
Huh?
There's no need for that. Bangers and Mash Bonsai, how about that? You remember that? Bangers and Mash.
The
Children's
show.
programme.
Aye.
Bangers and Mash. No, I'm not going to start singing. I am not going to start singing.
You'll get a copyright.
We want to win subscribers, not lose the buggers.
You'll get a copyright infraction.
Not with my singing, they'll never be able to work out what it is.
We'll bring that down into there. We'll have an apex in there. And I think we'll bring that down into the back. That down into there. You reckon?
Yeah. I think you is the man with this one.
So I think what we need to do now is get the rest of this wired. I didn't know if you want to videotape the wiring at all.
No, we'll come back after it's wired up, and we'll crack on. Now that might be later, it might be in the morning when we come back, but we'll start wiring it now.
We'll go away and then the video, see how far we've gone, and we can easily finish it off tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we'll see you in a bit, folks.
Ta-da, folks, for now.
So I disappeared inside just to replenish the drinks, and I got a little bit waylaid doing a couple of other things, and I've come back in here a few minutes later, and Wonder Boy here has got absolutely carried away. I mean, he's done nearly all the wiring. I maybe put one piece on, but as you can see here, he's basically styled the tree.
There's these two done.
We're wired up, we're styled on this side, styled on this side, and then the apex is up here and the bit around the back is out there. I think wind him up, let him go, just keep the beers flowing.
That's the best way. So the only thing I haven't done is wired all the foliage, so that's why it looks a bit floppy. But I've started to try and create some pads which Scott can just pinch back, let grow, and once it gets a bit thicker we can put a lot better shape into it. I've got the top third of the tree to do, so I'll continue wiring these. I might do this back branch first, create something with this branch, then we'll come back to the apex.
Making it into something. I mean, maybe the foliage and everything doesn't support itself to be, you know, great bonsai material, but Ryan's having a good go at it.
I think about losing that because it's coming parallel with that one.
If in doubt, cut it out.
But then I might just wire it and put it over the top like that to give it depth. We can always take it off, we can't put it back on. Oh, I was sticking my tongue out.
Where's the trunk gone? All I can see is wire.
That's because the camo's on it. That's why you can't see them there.
Dad jokes, dad jokes.
I've got one. Did you hear about that film actress I got stabbed?
Oh,
Reese.
Reese who?
Reese.
What, with a spoon?
No, with a knife.
Ah!
It just comes straight out of a Christmas cracker.
Ah, but it's not a cracker, that one, is it?
No, it's just shine the pipe. So,
What time are we on?
20 to 12, we start at 10.
So the day's just begun.
Oh, yes. So basically, there's a rough styling into that tray. I've never claimed to be an artist, mind. I just like playing. It's got a lot of growth to do. Looks a bit long, that. But from where it was, as you look at the beginning of the video, to this now. It's got to start with a life as a bonsai. I haven't wired every single branch, obviously, because we only wanted a big branch placement into it. Scott can just keep pinching back and start creating these pads. Well, it should turn out alright, that.
From that leggy waste that people were kind of thinking, just put it in the bin. I think you've done us proud with that, Ryan. I can't take any part of any credit for that.
You put some wire on?
I put one piece.
I
put one piece and I watched you do it, or I was in and out. This is Ryan, not me. This is purely Ryan.
You fetched the cans.
I kept him watered, that was about it.
That's turned out okay, mate.
That's the Lawson Cypress, styled by our good friend Ryan from Horton Bonsai.
You're welcome, lad.
So with it being nearly 12 o'clock, I think we're going to knock it on the head. We'll have, you know, a bit of time chatting in the kitchen and whatnot. But I think we've had a good long day today. We were up at, you know, just after 6, and Ryan's really done me proud styling this tree. So I think that's going to do it for part 1 of Let's Do Bonsai versus Horton Bonsai weekend. So we'll see you in the morning for part 2, but until then, get out there and make the best of the rest of your day. Be kind to each other and
bloopers. Less intoxicated tomorrow.
But until then, get out there and make the best of the rest of your day. Be kind to each other, animals and the planet. And as always,
ta-da, folks, and we'll see you tomorrow less intoxicated.
see you tomorrow, folks.
Ta-da.